If you're struggling with chronic fatigue, relentless sugar cravings, or struggling to lose that excess weight, especially around your midsection, I need you to know something. You've been focusing on the wrong solutions. You might be counting calories perfectly, working out consistently, but seeing zero results. The real secret to a healthy, energized, fat-burning body isn't in a restrictive diet. It's a series of simple daily habits that keep your insulin low and stable. If you're new here, I'm Kait, a nutritionist who helps people use food and lifestyle to reverse insulin resistance without restrictive dieting. Today, I'm going to share the daily routine I use, both personally and with clients. Now, why does insulin matter so much? Most people just see it as a blood sugar hormone, but it's actually the master fat storage hormone. When your insulin is constantly elevated due to poor daily habits, your body is effectively locked in storage mode. It becomes impossible to access and burn your stored body fat for energy, and you can't lose what you can't access. But here's the good news. Insulin resistance is not a life sentence. It's not a progressive disease, even if you might have been told that. Your insulin sensitivity changes every single day based on what you do. Today, I'm giving you the 8-step daily habit blueprint that ultra-healthy insulin sensitivity people follow. These are science-backed, easy-to-adopt habits that can reverse insulin resistance when you use them in the right way. They're gonna help your body to finally use fat for fuel. So let's get into it, starting right when you wake up. Habit number 1 is to hydrate before anything else. The first mistake a lot of people make every single day is grabbing caffeine before they hydrate. Overnight, you've naturally dehydrated, and this can actually raise your cortisol, your stress hormone. When cortisol spikes, it signals your liver to dump glucose into your bloodstream. So the first thing you need is a large glass of water. Now, cortisol spikes, they're not the enemy. They're not always bad. A spike first thing in the morning is normal. That's natural. But you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to spike your cortisol more than it needs to be spiked. And this happens when you compound stressful situations. And at the end of the day, caffeine is a stressor. So what you need to do before you caffeinate in the morning is start with a large glass of water. Even better if you can get some electrolytes in now. For those of us who are focused on balancing blood sugar or reversing insulin resistance, we need to be focused on not just the water we're consuming, but also the electrolytes. An electrolyte like Sodi's Everyday Hydration Salts ensures you're doing just that. You're getting a clean dose of sodium, potassium, and magnesium without any hidden sugars, junk, or fillers. Starting your day with balanced electrolytes doesn't just replenish what you've lost overnight. It also helps to keep that morning cortisol and blood sugar spike stable. Hydration isn't just about water. If you drink too much water on its own, you throw off your electrolyte balance, and you're gonna be running to pee nonstop as your body tries to balance this out. So if you're someone who's trying to stay hydrated, drinking a lot of water, but you constantly have to pee, you might be throwing off your electrolyte balance. Thankfully, this is an easy fix. Personally, I love all of Sodi's flavors, but their salty raspberry is my go-to. And this is a non-negotiable part of my morning routine. Habit number 2 we kind of touched on, but it's to control your cortisol and dopamine spike. Once you're hydrated, you need to commit to this. For the first 30 minutes of the day, do not look at your phone. That quick dopamine hit from notifications, emails, and social media scrolling immediately puts your brain in a state of stress, which again raises cortisol and adrenaline. This will literally dump glucose into your bloodstream. Instead, keep it calm. Get outside, get some sunlight exposure, and take some deep breaths. This signals safety to your body, and it's going to keep your metabolism in a balanced state to start the day. Habit number 3 is to delay your caffeine. I know, this one is really hard. If you're waking up and immediately hitting the espresso machine, you're amplifying a natural metabolic reaction. Your body already experiences a natural cortisol peak, as we spoke about earlier, which is about 30 to 90 minutes after waking. If you consume caffeine during this time, it acts like a double dose, leading to an exaggerated blood sugar spike. It can also cause jitters and eventually a mid-morning energy crash. I recommend waiting at least 90 minutes before you have your first sip of coffee. This simple tweak will result in smoother, more sustained energy all day long. Okay, now we've started our day. What's next? Habit number 4 is to anchor every single meal you eat with protein. And this is especially important for breakfast. If you adopt only one habit from this list, make it this one. High quality protein should be the star of every single meal. We're talking about aiming for 30 to 50 grams of protein. Protein is highly satiating, meaning it keeps you fuller for longer and dramatically slows down digestion. which is a good thing when it comes to blood sugar control. Slow digestive speed equals a slow, gentle blood sugar release. This means less insulin is required, giving your body that essential downtime to become more sensitive. Habit number 5 is to embrace the meal gap. That means no snacking in between meals. The continuous cycle of snacking is a primary driver of insulin resistance. Every time you eat, even a small snack, your pancreas releases insulin. If you're constantly snacking, your insulin never comes back down to baseline during the day. I recommend aiming for 3 to 5 hours in between your well-balanced meals. That downtime is when your insulin drops low enough for your body to switch from burning sugar for energy to tapping into your stored fat. This is the definition of metabolic flexibility. And unfortunately, a lot of people have lost this ability and need to retrain it. Habit number 6 is to use the clever carb hack. Now, I'm not anti-carb. Yes, low-carb diets, keto diets, they can be effective for improving insulin sensitivity, but not everyone needs to reduce them entirely unless they want to. What matters is being smart about carbs. If you love starchy carbs like potatoes, rice, or oats, utilize the resistant starch trick. When you cook these items and then cool them completely in the fridge overnight, it changes their chemical structure. This process turns some of the starch into resistant starch, which acts like fiber. Basically, your body isn't able to digest them, so the total carb amount in the food reduces. Fewer carbs, less of a blood sugar spike, and less insulin is needed. And don't worry, you can reheat the foods the next day. The resistant starch will remain, but the blood sugar spike will be up to 40% lower than if you ate the same food hot off the stove. So you're eating the same food, but it's gonna be better for your body. Habit number 7 is to move after you eat. Do not sit down immediately, especially after carb-heavy meals. And this is a game changer. A simple 10 to 15 minute walk after a meal uses your muscles to absorb the excess glucose in your bloodstream without the need for a massive insulin dump. This is the single simplest strategy to reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes and to stop cravings and crashes later. And finally, habit number 8 is the 60-second cold finish. Now, this might sound like an uncomfortable biohack. I'm gonna be honest, I am not really a fan of this one. I mean, I'm a fan of the benefits, but I do not enjoy putting it into action. Finish your morning shower with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water. This activates your brown fat, which is a metabolically active tissue that burns glucose and fatty acids to generate heat. It's a daily 1-minute metabolic reset that trains your body to be more efficient with blood sugar and improves your overall metabolic rate and health over time. So here's the key. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do every single one of these things every day, but you do need to be somewhat consistent. If you only pick 1 or 2 habits this week to commit to, start with the protein priority and the morning hydration. Small, consistent habits are the way to create lasting results. Now, I know we've covered a lot in today's video, so let's quickly recap the 8 habits. Number 1 is to hydrate before anything else. Number 2 is to delay the cortisol and dopamine spike. Number 3 is to wait to drink your coffee. Number 4 is to anchor every meal with protein. Number 5 is to embrace the meal gap, so no snacking in between your meals. Number 6 is to use the clever carb hack. Number 7 is to move after you eat. And number 8 is the 60-second cold finish. Now, these are the 8 habits, but putting them into practice can be a little bit trickier. So if you need a step-by-step roadmap, I recommend checking out my 3-day blood sugar reset. I designed this to give you the exact meal plan, timing, and structure needed to stabilize your blood sugar immediately. It's a complete blueprint for getting started. I'll put the link on the screen and in the description box down below. And if you use code YouTube, you can save 10%. But I want to hear from you guys. How many of these habits are already a part of your routine? If none of them are, which one are you going to add in first? Let me know down below.